You had a very important portfolio in terms of the fact that society, if they don't see Commissioner or General Fani Masemola or the police minister, they look at you, because the people won't necessarily know all the policing officials in the support structure. They'll definitely know those who are responsible for, seeing police out on the streets. But also, you've been in service for 33 years, right?
Yes.
Since 1989 as a student constable back then. That was even before democracy. What would be your advice to female, young girls out there who want to get into policing, but, are scared because of, some of the things that are said about police out there?
As you are saying, 33 years, it's not a child's play. To my sisters out there, little girls that are out there, South Africa needs women. It needs women to come and take the baton and run with it. We do need women. You can look at the statistics that are talking to gender-based violence. Not only gender-based violence, but I think there are women who are sitting in beautiful offices that are beautiful, that are suffering in the hands of society, in the hands of men. They need women to come to policing and make sure that women do receive this full emancipation. As of now, we are still not free as women in this country. And not only in this country, but around the world. When we converge as women from different spheres, from different governments, from different countries, the cry is the same. Women, we are not free. We are still not free. We are still suffering the same plight that we've been suffering before. And for women of this country, 66 years ago, women took to the streets. They took upon themselves. You can see the pictures. Some were carrying babies at their back. They went to Union Building, not only to relieve women, but their stance was one, equality. Not only the equality of women, but equality in general. They fought for the pass, which was the passport that in your own country, to move from one province to the other, you need to have a passport to move. They said no to the pass laws. So they did not only fight for women, but they were fighting for equality. They were fighting for the soul of a black person in their own country, that can we be free in our own country.
And it's so sad that we're not necessarily as free as we should be. So between 2016 and 2018, you were responsible for the FCS unit, which obviously has to do with family violence, it has to do with child protection, and, the stuff that the president has been calling, a pandemic on its own, GBV, etc. So you're the perfect person to ask this question. What is it that police are doing behind the scenes to change how society perceives police when it comes to this? There's some women who go through GBV and won't go to the police, sometimes even gay men, for instance, and won't go to the police because they feel as though they will not be assisted.
Luckily, I have been in the play for some time, even before 2016, as a young investigator. I remember back in the days, we were only focusing on child protection units that were turned into FCS units that were looking for family violence, child protection, as well as sexual offenses across the board, both women, young men, vulnerable groups. What is expected from us, from the sisters out there, from the brothers out there? Because when we train the police to do and assist the communities, we're not only training women to do so, but for my fellow sisters out there, it has been years now where people are crying and complaining that they suffer mostly in the hands of women at the police station. And that is not us. That is not what we were taught. That is not why, in the first place, we decided to join the police. We came here because we have seen the plight of women, because we had in ourselves that it cannot be in our name. Let us make this organization proud. Let us make sure that we discharge our duty the same way that is expected. It is very heartening to hear people still continuing this year, this time of the century, still complaining about the women in policing who are not treating them the same way that they are expecting them to be treated. It is very disappointing. It is embarrassing. And I can assure you, Masiho, it's not all women. It is a very small fraction of those. And we always say as leadership, bring them forward.
Yeah.
Let us get their names so that we can root them out and remove them from those positions if they cannot assist the women. The women are suffering and they cannot continue to suffer in our hands.
So 8 women gang raped in Krugersdorp, allegedly by illegal minors, etc. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, the police minister visited some of those victims in Alexandra, and he said that the DNA testing would be fast-tracked, at least to give them closure sooner. Has that happened? Do you know how far that process is?
It is ongoing. I think I did give an update in Krugersdorp. The question came, Masiho. The team is working tirelessly. It is a tedious process. It is not something that you can do in one day and conclude, especially that you need to run a lot of samples. You need to do a proper analysis. You need to also run on the database. So the team is working tirelessly. I think one is expecting very soon that there will be results that are coming. And I can assure you that we are continuing to arrest people around there. People who commit crime will not commit crime and be in the close proximity. They will try to hide. That is why continuous operations are happening in Gauteng to ensure that we root out every element that is around there. And as and when people are getting apprehended by the police, we do take samples and we do send them to the forensics so that if from those that were arrested on the time of the incident cannot be linked, at least we continuously run the samples as the samples are coming in. So that process is continuing. I am overseeing that department as well because it's part and parcel of my responsibility, and I am receiving an update on a daily basis. I think I was sitting with the team as well yesterday. The divisional commissioner is also updating me from time to time with the progress on the analysis. And very soon the nation will hear our progress in as far as that is concerned.
Just lastly, General, in terms of what's been happening on the West Rand, obviously in reaction to what happened in Krugersdorp, a lot of the times our reporters showing that police are outnumbered. We've already said, since July, the July unrest last year, that sometimes the ratio between society and police is not equal, and therefore, of course, police would also run out of the ability to police in those areas. But when it comes to situations such as that, what are you calling for? Is it a budgetary constraint thing from Treasury to be able to actually get more police to help you in incidents such as this?
The portfolio that I'm heading also has the responsibility to collaborate with other departments, with other forces that can come and assist policing. Yes. In terms of the numbers, we all know that you will not have the number of police that will equal or that is acceptable to be equal to a number of communities' population figures. If you look at our establishment, one can always relate back to 2010 when we went on to a robust a recruitment to get the police, and I think we were successful at the time. With natural attrition, others deciding to join other forces to see greener pastures. Others, recently we had the pandemic, which has also seen taking lives within the organization as well. The response that we are doing, that we've been doing through the joint structures, is to get other security forces assisting the police. It is a day-to-day thing that we do collaborate with other structures to come and work together. So what we are currently doing, what we have seen in the areas of West Rand and other areas, as we speak, there are forces that are on the ground. We work with other security forces, we work with other departments, other uniform departments such as Home Affairs and the likes, so that we augment each other in discharging our duty and making sure that communities are and feel safe.
Well, thank you very much for coming to speak to us this Women's Day. And once again, congratulations. I wish you all the best in this task. It's not an easy one. So I imagine that I'm going to see quite a lot of you in the next couple of years. Thank you very much. That was General Tebello Mosikili. She's our new Deputy National Commissioner, first female in South Africa.